Hi, this is Hannah Erica, and welcome to my channel. Today I got these bar stools for free off the Nextdoor app. I established a rapport with a really cool person there, and I wound up getting a few things that she just didn't need anymore. I was so happy to get them, and I sand a teeny bit on the corner thinking, oh my goodness, this wood is so gorgeous. I'm going to sand it down to the bare wood, and I had this project I was going to do that I thought inspired me off of Pinterest, but this is not like the project, so why show it? So I started off with some citrus strip on one of them, and I put something different on the next one, which I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But this was all a waste of time. That is the stronger one to strip furniture. And I soon found out when it stripped too deep that it was actually some type of veneer. So it was a doozy getting the actual product off, and that is the bad thing about using stripper. It's very difficult to remove it. So when I got a little bit too deep, I was able to see that the wood wasn't exactly wood. So I said, let me clean this off and regroup and paint it. So unfortunately, I had to move my wood job to a paint job. And my old reliable leftover from my last project in black. But I promise you, this is not going to be the normal, traditional, just paint it all black. Because who would even film that? It's just no big deal with that. Because it was pretty roughed up everywhere. I really had the sander, I had everything out, which I cut all that film. Why see all that mess? I had my sander out, I had a whole bunch of stuff out, but so this is chalk paint, Krylon, and I had a leftover from my last project, and I said this will go well on these stools. And painting stools is very, very difficult. I have an easier time painting end tables and a dresser than painting these. It's just a lot of little intricate parts and pieces. So a lot of turns and curves and corners. And I don't want to mention the person's name, but they gave me a tip about how I'm holding the brush. And I told them that the beginning of the next project, I still held the brush wrong because I already filmed it. So this one, I still didn't hold my brush correctly, and my wrist took a beating for that. So I will very soon start seeing stuff where I am holding the brush the proper way, which should be closer to the end and not just the handle. The back of the chair was very difficult to deal with because it was just lots of corners, lots of things that need to be smoothed out. And I had to position the chair different ways in order to just keep checking and checking for missing painted parts. I decided just to do the top part of the chair. Like I did the top part of the first chair, and now I'm doing the top part of this chair, and then I actually let it sit and get dry because I have to move it around a lot and keep checking it a lot. So I just did what I could in that position on the top part, not the legs. So this actually took me some time. I love these bar stools, but man, it took a while. Or maybe they counter stools. I keep calling them bar stools. I think they're more like counter stools because they're so tall. So they dried, and then now I put it up on top of this box I have, this tote box. And I decided to just work on the legs from that point. And as I was working on the legs, of course, I found more things to paint and fix and fill in. But this took some time. But hopefully you're still with me so far and you think that I could show you some things that are interesting. So if that's true, please like and subscribe. I appreciate that. This project, though it seemed small, it just took a while to do. And so now I turned it, I'm going to sand it down a little bit because I found little errors that I made that happens whenever you do paint. So I wanted to kind of sand it down after the first coat. And now it's time for me to fill in some things after my first coat. This is my second coat, kind of going through painting, but also checking the parts that didn't receive the paint. I put it under the light a little better. I wish I had perfect light, but I learned that I don't think there's any perfect light, because the more I change it around and change the positions, I keep finding more and more things. So it's upside down now, and now I'm going to paint what was missing now that I turn it upside down. So I skipped that part because it wasn't a lot of lighting and it was boring. So now I'm sanding it again. I moved it to the basement, and right here I'm just sanding to get it prepped for the final look through. And here I decided to take off the metal feet base part because a friend of mine looked at them and she said, "What was that?" And I said, "It's like a metal piece," and I painted over it. And she was like, "Huh." So her just saying that made me feel like, okay, maybe I should not have just painted over the metal part. Maybe I should have done something more special with it, or I should have removed it or done something. So now I have paint on it, but I took them off, and I'm going to strip the black paint off of them because I think it would be nice if I had the metal kind of showing. And now I'm going to get to my actual idea that I have for the piece that I've been waiting to talk about, that I didn't want to bring up. What I actually was going to do with this thing. I believe that I am getting it prepped for the final kind of painting. Just looking at everything, wiping it off, checking for stuff. I took off the metal brackets that be at the feet. So this is me like giving it that final painting. It's never final, I feel like. This is the final one that I did before I start the next step, which actually, gave some uniqueness to this piece. Still based off of the inspiration I got from Pinterest, but I couldn't use bare wood, so this is a totally different look. I have the gold and then the gold paint and the gold spray that I'm going to be implementing to use on this chair. And you see that I blocked off some stuff with tape on it, and I have 3 different size, different type applicators to apply this, and I'm just trying to gently add the gold to it. And if any of you out there who use gold, you know that, oh my goodness, the first application of gold paint is just it's just not cute. I guess the first application of any paint is just so sparingly, and it's just not, when you first look at it, it's a little discouraging. And this pack of what I'm using are all just throwaway brushes. I literally paid $10 for like 30 brushes. It's just different types of sponges and brushes that you can just throw it away when you're done using them. So I gently just started painting inside of the areas that I blocked. I have never used this particular paint before. I had it stored for a while, but I kept using this antique gold that I had. But because I needed the spray, I'm like, they both metallic gold, the spray and this one. So I said, I need to use this break it in, see what it's like. And then I put something on the seat because I realized I could have dripped any of this paint on the seat and had more of a cleanup for myself. So I got a clean towel and just covered the seat a little bit better. But the brush doesn't have a lot of product on it, so nothing should be dripping. I just want to create sharp lines. I was trying not to be uninspired by the yellowish of it. So it's time to spray the actual foot bars, and of course this is metallic also, but it's Rust-Oleum. I just hope they match close enough. And so I got the paint off of it and decided to spray it because I know it's going to need a couple of coats. Okay, one day I rushed home. I guess I would say Tuesday. I still had my coat on, my work badge on, and I remembered there was a part that wasn't done. I was just thinking like something was just not quite right about it. And I looked back at the project that inspired me, and they had a piece of the seat done too. So I'm like, how can I forget that? This actually was before that part when I actually wanted to see if it was sharp enough. I thought I had enough coats on there, and so I was pretty happy about that, but there was some damage, and I'm not showing you everything that I had to fix, but I had to fix so much. It was constantly taping, retaping, waiting to stuff dry, not leaving the tape on for days like I did before. That's why it got really bad. I left it on for days, and it doesn't have a top coat on it. So that's how I messed it up. But this process took a while. It was had a lot of issues, and I didn't bother to show all of them. I finally got a couple of coats of this, so I put the polyacrylic on there about 2 times with the spray, and then I went and did one with the actual brush. And then I came back through and just did the gold part with the regular one, and then you're not going to see it, but I did mix a little bit of dark in for the black side. I didn't want it to have that little film that it gets on there. And so I started doing the gold first and let it dry, and then I did the other half. But don't want to bore you with that. And then I replaced it, and I thought the gold matched up pretty good, pretty close. I didn't paint everything underneath it because I figured it was going to be covered, and I didn't focus on that. And hopefully you think that it looks pretty good, or it was worth to watch. These counter stools, I think, turn out pretty much the way I hoped they would. Yeah, I think they're pretty cute. I couldn't make them like a wood stool and with the black paint, but I did think I came back pretty well. Thanks for watching.